Now, one of the things that we've been seeing coming from China is that Chinese car companies have been putting a lot of pressure into your luxury brands or all the other famous brands coming from outside of China. This goes for Ford, BMW, Mercedes. I mean, yesterday we were talking about a consumer opting or choosing to go for a Neo over the Mercedes, which initially he wanted to buy. This is something that shows competition is very fierce, which is something that, like I said, it's pretty exciting. I mean, you remember that Mercedes came and cut their revenue guidance for the rest of the year because of the demand, or because of the low demand that they are witnessing coming from China. I mean, today the reason why I'm doing this video is because we just received another comment, or we just saw a comment coming from the Ford, the CEO, indicating that from 2020 to date they've lost 5 billion worth of sales coming from China because of the fierce competition between 2020 to date, which shows you once again that Chinese car companies, ladies and gents, they are really winning the market shares. Companies like Neo are really doing exceptionally well in China. This is what we've been discussing. I mean, you will know that in terms of market share, when you look into the premium market share, Neo has got over 50% of the total market share when you look into premium EV segment. And to get to see comments like these coming from these other brands that are popular, or that used to be popular also in China, from countries outside of China, it is something that makes you to be aware, or it has to make you be aware to say that companies like Neo are not going anywhere. Companies like Neo are going to succeed. I mean, what is making these Chinese companies to thrive is, number one, the technology, the money they are spending on R&Ds. I know some of the people think Neo is absurd by spending around $600 million each and every quarter on R&Ds, but this is what will make them to win in the long term. This is what exactly even the president, the Neo CEO, have been telling us, to say that if they don't invest into R&Ds, then they might as well forget about surviving this fast growing EV industry, or surviving in this fair competition that we are seeing in China. Because of the R&Ds, because of the technology that you find onto Neo cars, it is for this reason that we are seeing the Chinese consumers starting to trust their own brands and going to brands like Neo. It is for this reason we are seeing Neo sales doing exceptionally well. It is because of the money they're investing onto research and development, which result into them coming with new innovations, new technology, which is what is going to continue make them win the market share. I mean, some of the technology that you find on a Neo car, you won't find into a car coming from America. You won't find into some of the cars that are coming from Europe, which therefore makes or puts Neo to be ahead of other automakers globally. This is one thing that will make Neo to succeed. This is one thing that, of course, it's even making those countries to stop the Chinese companies to come and sell cars in their country. It is why we are seeing the US imposing a lot of tariffs into Chinese companies. I mean, you know that before the EU announced the tariff increase, BYD just said, or had just said, that by 2030 they believe that they will be a car company selling most cars in Europe. So these are some of the reasons why we are seeing those tariff increase coming. I mean, the Ford CEO said the kind of competition they are witnessing in China, they've never witnessed anywhere. They've never witnessed this kind of a competition, which shows you that car companies like Neo are doing a great job. Car companies like Neo are expected to continue doing very well. I mean, even looking at the kind of market share that Chinese brands now have in China, in terms of sales, it is just so amazing. I mean, 2020, the market share in terms of sales, Chinese brands had 43%, and now they are sitting at 62%. So it means that 62% of the cars that are being sold in China are from the Chinese brands, which that is good news. That's what's resulting into premium luxury brands like Mercedes cutting down their total revenues for 2024. This is why sales from companies like Ford are down 70% from their peak. It is because of the fierce competition that we are seeing from the Chinese brands. It is because of the kind of competition that we are seeing from brands like NIO. I mean, I said it yesterday that previously Chinese brands are known to not produce the kind of good quality products, and to get to see that changing because of the R&D's, research and development projects these automakers or car companies like NIO are involved in or are doing. It is just so amazing to see this kind of a success. And it is with no doubt that even if these car companies are to, or these Chinese car companies are to flood the US or flood the EU, there's no doubt that they will do exceptionally well. I know outside of China, these companies might not be doing that well, but I tell you, with time, these things will change, and I think these companies will also start doing absolutely great outside of China. I remember a couple of years back, I think 2021, where Mizuho Securities came out and said that they foresee 30% of new sales coming outside of China, which I still believe we are going to see that because of what NIO is doing, because of the current fundamentals that we see on NIO. NIO, it is a company that is continuing to do well. It's a company that continues to eating up the markets of the luxury brands, which is why I have no doubt in my mind that they will do absolutely well. This comment made by the Ford CEO shows and proves once again that companies like NIO are not going anywhere. Companies like NIO are going to be the leaders. I mean, you would know that there is a comment that the NIO CEO said. I think he said out of the top 10 of the car companies globally in terms of sales, 5 companies will be coming from China. This is what he believes. And looking at how things are unfolding in China, I have no doubt that we'll see that coming to play in the next 10 years or within the next 10 years. And NIO will be one of those companies, I have no doubt in my mind. So otherwise, with all that, I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates. Tell me what you think about this comment just made by the Ford CEO. I think this once again shows you of what the car companies in China are doing, or the kind of success we are seeing from companies like NIO, the growth that we are seeing from those companies, which is something that shows us or gives us the confirmation that companies like NIO are doing well, and chances are very high that they will continue doing well in the future, not only in China but also outside of China. Otherwise, I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates. Tell me what you think about this. I think this is a good report. These are good signals that encourage investors like us who are investing into NIO to continue increasing our holdings, because we know that even the car companies outside of China, they are seeing the kind of potential that lies on car companies or onto Chinese car companies, including NIO, which is something that is absolutely incredible. Otherwise, that's all from me. I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.